Welcome into episode 6 of the Bleav in Twins podcast on the Bleav Network. I'm your host, Anders Pryor, joined alongside my wonderful co-host and freshly showered analyst, Zac Tipton, joining me in from what we were talking about before the show. Seemed like on our part, some simultaneously not great nights of sleep in terms of quality and duration.
Yeah, no, I definitely did not sleep that well last night. And maybe it was because I was just thinking about that loss yesterday. But other than that, I do feel good though. I feel good. I feel, I'm up, I'm ready, I'm excited to watch Zebby Matthews pitch today. I'm very, very excited about that. I mean, nothing can ruin my day when Zebby Matthews is pitching.
Yeah.
So, now we're really excited. And for that, and then honestly, we're just excited. The Twins are within 2 games of the Guardians for the American League lead in the Central here.
No, every strikeout that Zebby Matthews gets is the equivalent of 50 milligrams of caffeine.
Absolutely. I think that's pretty much accurate.
But no,
I think it's every out though. I don't even think it's every strikeout. I think it's every out that Zebby Matthews get is like that. Yeah.
In person, it's every pitch probably.
Well, probably. I really hope I get to eventually do see Zebby Matthews pitch in person. That will happen.
Get a heart arrhythmia by the end of the first half inning. But no, last night was rough. I got to sleep at like 3 or 3:30, so I'm having some caffeine. Maybe a little later in the day than I would like to. But
that's fair. I also have not eaten today, so that's probably not great.
Oh, well, that's not great either. But very excited for Zebby. He's gonna find, even when we cover series where he doesn't pitch, we're gonna find a way to sneak him into every show from now on.
Well, 100% we are. Oh, and there goes my camera because my camera decided to freaking. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Zac got so excited that about Zebby Matthews that the reception around his camera got starked up. But
I don't know how to fix it, so we're just gonna try to fix it and hope it works back soon. You can see me. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm really blurry. I don't know what's happening. But there we go. Now we're back.
There we go. Perfect.
It happens. I don't know why. It's so annoying. But continue.
But before we get to Twin stuff, staying in Minnesota, Zac, I'm sure you saw the Timberwolves are opening the NBA regular season.
I did.
Which is very exciting. I think it's, it's nice. I kind of like how they're not just resorting to, it would be, they're facing the Lakers, which you would expect, but first matchup of Celtics Knicks will be fun. I think it's sort of very easy. It would be very easy for them to just do some sort of iteration of Lakers Warriors, or Warriors Suns, or Suns Lakers, or whatever. But I am glad that they're kind of opening the season with having LeBron go up against someone who I think can and will overtake the face of American basketball in the near future. Because realistically,
we don't face the Lakers, by the way. We face Toronto.
You face Toronto? You face the Raptors?
Are you looking
at preseason, or was I looking at preseason?
1 second. Let me look at our schedule again. You're right. Let me look at the full schedule. I thought. Oh no, you're right. I'm an idiot. We're good.
What I was gonna say is Toronto the preseason.
It's the Lakers and the Raptors are the third game. It's our first. Raptors are our first home game. Sorry, Raptors are our first home game. That's my bad.
They're gonna at least put that thing in. I still want to call it Staples Center, freaking crypto.com arena.
Can we just call it? Can we just make a?
No, exactly.
At this point?
It's like with the Steelers. Like, it's never gonna be Acrisure. Like, it's always it's just gonna be Heinz, right? Like, It
is crazy though, because if you look at it, the Timberwolves have 3 national TV games within the first week of the season, or the first like 2 weeks of the season.
That's great. No, I've talked about pretty openly that I feel like for the past year and a half, especially, the NBA has sort of gone through an identity crisis in terms of that. If you look at the allocations of the the prime time standalone games on ESPN and TNT and ABC and all that, that they're kind of like they're squeezing out, and this is and the Timberwolves are very relevant in this conversation. They're sort of they're putting the Lakers, Warriors, and Suns on a lot of prime time slots, where the Suns are like a middle of the road playoff team, and the Warriors and Lakers are either play-in teams or fringe non-playoff teams, and it's kind of and I want your thoughts on this. Like this kind of thing where they're trying to squeeze every bit of LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry that they can. And I have this worry.
And that's been known forever.
I have this worry that, and since then, and since this started to become a thing, Anthony Edwards has emerged. And so this conversation maybe isn't quite as saturated, but it does kind of feel like, they're not doing as good of a job as they can setting themselves up for success in a post LeBron, Curry, Durant era, where by the time those guys are gone, it's like, okay, well, for the casual fans, it's like, okay, well, now who are we supposed to watch? Like, these guys are gone, and I'm not really sure who I'm supposed to be paying attention to. And so I think putting Edwards.
I think they're also focusing now again. They're putting the Nuggets in prime time a bit more. They're putting
which I think is smart.
They're putting the Mavs. Like, I know Luka Doncic is going to become more like they're getting the Mavs on prime time more. I'm assuming the Celtics will get prime time more with how they're national champ. They won the NBA championship there.
Right. Well, the Celtics have been fine because, they get the same sort of like brand leeway that the Lakers get. But the difference there is that the Celtics have been to like 2 finals.
If you look at it, the only
more justified.
When we face a team on primetime, we're facing, if you look at the teams we face on primetime, these are the teams. So listen to this. So this is the first primetime games we face. We face the Lakers, the Mavs, the Nuggets. Those are the first 3 games on primetime for us. We don't have another national TV game, really. Well, I'm not considering NBA TV national TV. I'm not.
Right.
So, yeah. We don't have another until we face the Warriors in December, ESPN.
Yep.
And then we face the Mavs on Christmas, national TV. We face the Celtics on national TV in January. And then we go and we face the Grizzlies on national TV. That's a weird one, but that's the Grizzlies on national TV. Then we go Mavericks and Nuggets, back-to-back games. All 3 of those games are back-to-back on national TV. And then we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have 2 national TV games versus the Thunder in like back-to-back games.
Right.
And then we face the Suns on national TV. We face the Nuggets on national TV, the Pelicans on national TV, the Nuggets again on national TV, the Grizzlies on national TV, and that's the final. So it's all our national TV games are literally Mavs, Nuggets, and then like the Suns, Celtics. The usual.
Like, doesn't it feel kind of dishonest that, like, doesn't it feel a little weird that the Thunder have the Oklahoma City Thunder have 25 nationally televised games this season, and the Suns have 30. Like, that like that doesn't really sit right. Like,
how many do the Lakers have?
What is it?
How many do the Lakers have?
39.
Oh my.
So essentially half the games, and they're going to be like the 8 seed.
Maybe. And
Maybe. That's assuming that that's assuming that like I don't know, maybe Dalton Connect just explodes as a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just that's bad. That's NBA for you. That's what they've been doing all.
I think.
Okay, so but you know this. The Ali Padres knows. I interned at Fox Sports for a very first semester. I interned at Fox Sports. When I was working on the shows at Fox Sports, they were very clear about what topics I was allowed to like put forward as ideas when I was trying to come up with ideas for, because that was my job. Like I was the guy that came up with ideas for the shows for like, and that was for First Things First, and that was for Undisputed with Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Those are the 2 shows that I was coming up with ideas for. And you specifically had to focus on LeBron / any Lakers,
right?
KD. Even Jokic wasn't even like, they were like, we don't really care about Jokic at all. Like just Steph. It was like Steph, Lakers, KD. Ja was kind of okay with that as well.
Yeah.
It was like, but it was weird. It was like, and so like, and like with Super and Shannon, NFL wise, it was the Cowboys. Like you had to come up with Cowboys topics.
I was gonna say, was it? My assumption was gonna be that it was gonna be Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills were.
Chiefs were a big topic as well, but yeah, like I felt a lot better on First Things First in terms of what I could bring up, because like you knew what the big news conversations were there. Like for example, the big one that I brought up and was able to find was when Aaron Rodgers was in the middle of that contract dispute, and he kind of came out. A report came out that he wanted to be the highest paid player in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I was the first one to find that article, and I posted the idea thing. So like that was their big news, right? It was like NFL was First Things First is more NFL based. Like they did NBA stuff, but NFL based was more what they were kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Skip and Shannon was Lakers, KD, Suns, or KD, not Suns, Lakers, KD, Steph, and Cowboys. Yeah. Those were like the 4 topics you could choose from. And like, who was the tight end for the Cowboys that got like franchise tagged?
Jake Ferguson.
Maybe it might have been Ferguson, but I brought that up as a title, and they're like, "That's shit. That's a terrible thing." I'm like, cool. So like, the Lakers going after like DeAndre Jordan or something like that, or that was something like that. Yeah. The Lakers were going after somebody that was
it's this thing where like every single like teaser line for like the previews for the shows are the Lakers in on blank. It's like, okay, and then they're gonna string it along for a week, and then it's not gonna happen, and just like that repeated with like 6.
Oh, it's absolutely that. And so I got a lot of experience, so I know for a fact that's how they work.
It's kind of
exactly how they work.
It's kind of this weird thing, like with the Cowboys specifically, where it's kind of this like weird chicken and the egg phenomena where we talk about them all the time because they're the biggest brand, but they're also the biggest brand because we talk about them all the time. So it's kind of this like loop, and like it's weird, like, and it's really frustrating sometimes on any platform to see like sports take artists say proactively, and this I think I've seen this on First Things First with both Nick Wright and Chris Broussard. They say like, the Cowboy, one of the optics of this take that I just had is that the Cowboys are the biggest brand, or they're America's team, or, Chris Broussard saying something like, we wouldn't be talking about Dak that much if he wasn't on the Cowboys. It's like, okay, well, by you saying that, what you're kind of implying is that Dak Prescott in many situations isn't that important, but you're dedicating multiple blocks of your show to him. And so it's a little intellectually dishonest. So I don't know if if that resonates with like Zach. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean, one example I have here is we were kind of having a slow news day at First Things First, and so the two articles in one of the blocks that they had a choice between was a really boring Dak article or a somewhat intriguing Kirk Cousins article.
mm-hmm.
What do you think they picked? Just what do you think they picked?
Does Kirk play for Dallas?
Kirk does not play for Dallas.
Because there you go. No, you have no idea. Like, it's every day, and I love First Things First. That's my favorite show.
I love it too. Like, those guys
NBA,
they were
NBA
fantastic.
content. But like, I swear to God, if I have to hear one more iteration of are the Cowboys Super Bowl or bust, or is Dak under the most pressure, or can Dak lead the Cowboys to the Super Bowl? Like,
it was funny because
what
they did. So they chose that article about Dak to do that article on Dak.
Yeah.
And the whole segment ended up just being them debating between Dak and Kirk Cousins who was better QB. So we got both of them. So we got both of them out at that point. It was funny. I'm like, that ended up. I was laughing. I'm like, this is funny because they turned down a Kirk Cousins article to talk about Dak. And then we just ended up talking about Kirk Cousins anyway because that just got brought up in conversation.
I don't for Fox programming and ESPN, I think is more guilty of this.
Yeah, 100%.
I kind of for baseball, and I think it's kind of cool because Nick Wright is a Royals fan, and so he's a very he's one of like the dozen most recognized sports personalities in the United States, and he's a vocal fan of a small market team, which I actually think is really healthy for baseball. I think that's a positive thing. It's funny, but like on a lot of these shows, like proactively, they'll even admit, we don't really talk about baseball. It's like, yeah, this isn't really like a baseball show. But then the second the Dodgers do something good, it's like all of a sudden we can dedicate 15 minutes to Mookie Betts and how ambiguously good of a person he is. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, there are so many like cooler things that we could be talking about aside from just, Mookie having a home run in his first game back. But it's like, okay, well, like, where were you for 2 months? It's like MLB didn't exist when he was injured.
That's why I like Good Morning Football a lot. I don't know if you know. I'm sure you know the show Good Morning Football on NFL Network. I love that show because
that's with Schrags, right?
That's a Peter Schrager, yeah, Peter Schrager and stuff. But so Jamie Erdahl is the host, is like the female host of it, and she's from Minnesota, huge Vikings fan, and so the Vikings get talked about a lot on that. And I'm like, finally a show I can turn to where we can actually, I know I actually can talk about the Vikings every show. And it's great. I like Good Morning Football a lot. That's a show I do like.
Yeah.
First Things First is kind of hard to watch because it was like and like all those shows are hard to watch because it's like you know exactly what every topic is going to be about. Like I was like so excited to watch First Things First one time because like the Vikings like won a big game or something like that, and that just wasn't even talked about. And it was like, dang. But anyway, so that's that. That's our sports media rant.
That's our opening sports rant. I think this is right. Like, this is a Twins podcast, right? Like, this is a small market team that's having a lot of success, and so it's kind of, like it's very easy to view the A's and the Rockies and the whatever as like a microcosm of like what a small market team looks like. But like, I mean, realistically, like it does kind of, I like to view the market size and the ownership as more 50-50 because like you look at what you're looking, you look at what's happening with Cleveland, you look at what's happening with the Twins and the Royals and the Diamondbacks, right? What's happening with the Padres, who had to had to go through a lot of financial hurdles just to pay the guys that they had on the team. Like, I think I'm a big believer that that A- and up management can, both on the field and up there, can overcome a small market. I do believe that you do have significantly less room for error, but I do believe that it can be done. I don't like this idea that's kind of spun around a lot where, especially like on these shows that we were just talking about, where if you are a smaller location, you're dead in the water, basically.
Absolutely. No, yeah, absolutely. But also, quick one last non-baseball topic.
Yeah.
Both sticking in Minnesota. Shout out to the Vikings for signing Stephon Gilmore.
Yes. Yes.
Big fan of that move. I don't know how much that's going to help us, but it does give us an important piece at a position we're desperately in need of right now because of all the issues we've had in the last month and a half at that position.
Right.
We needed a corner, and so I'm happy with the Stephon Gilmore trade. Did we pay him a lot? Yes, but he's gonna basically become our cornerback one, which is kind of sad to say, but he's basically gonna become our number one corner at this point because of all the injuries.
Huge respect to the Vikings front office, though, for how quickly they can react. Because there was, last year you had a lot of situations where with multiple teams, kind of getting the, because last year a lot of quarterbacks got injured and there was a lot of criticism brought to by teams about not prioritizing the backups correctly or not, once those happenings, not maneuvering infrastructure to set them up for success. Kirk Cousins got his season-ending injury last season. Literally hours later, they traded for Dobbs. And so they just have a really kind of quick.
Yeah, no, we've done a really good job with that for sure.
Yeah, they're extremely prepared and they react very swiftly to adversity, which I think is a great skill by Udafa-Mensah. I think that's he's done a great job so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. I like them both. I think that this year I think we're all expecting the Vikings to take a step back this year,
Right.
just in terms of record. Would not be surprised if we have a top 10 pick this year. Would not be surprised if we have a top 8 pick this year.
Yep.
But what I will say is I do believe in the Vikings that they're built for next year and they're built for the year after that. And they're built for many years in the future. So I'm excited about that. But probably should eventually start talking about the Twins here.
Yes. We'll get
so
the subject at hand.
Yeah, so you probably should eventually start talking about the Twins because this is a Twins podcast. But I just wanted to hype up the Vikings there a little bit.
Yeah. No, always great to cross sports. So let's talk about this Ranger series, which I believe both you and I correctly predicted 3 out of 4.
Yes, I thought it was gonna be 4 out of 4, Anders. I thought it was gonna be 4 out of 4. I'm not gonna lie, there's a part that was like, dang, we're gonna get there.
The last leg did not work out. Alcala allowing 5 runs in the 7th inning, including home runs by Adolis Garcia and Josh Young. Just a really unfortunate kind of sort of noting collapse, as a response to what was one of Pablo's better starts for the entire year. It was kind of a really unfortunate way, especially the second he gets off to finish his start, and it's a super great turn for him, and then it just all in 15 minutes it just totally collapses. So that was a rough one. Your thoughts, your rant, Zach.
I honestly I don't have much of a rant, and I know you guys are probably expecting a rant. I don't have much of one. Because here's the thing, Alcala has been so good for us this year. Every pitcher has a bad game. And I've seen pitchers have horrendous games. Heck, Bailey Ober gave up 8 runs in his first start this year versus the Royals. And he gets 6 against them the second time he faced them. Every pitcher has a bad start, has a bad outing. Heck, Duran's given up walk-off home runs all the time before as well. Like, no one's immune to it. So I can't be upset with it because everyone has that game and just that was not O'Call's day. And it happened so quickly that you really can't blame Rocco for it either. Although I do have some grievances with Rocco on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I don't like the bullpen usage here. Simply because we're up 4-0. And you bring in a guy who is injured every year and has pitched 3 of the last 4 games. Like, I feel like Rocco is smart enough to realize that Alcala probably shouldn't be pitching again to that day. And that's when you bring in a guy like Trevor Richards, who went 1.1 innings and had a really good 1.1 innings. You bring in Trevor Richards and you have a 4-0 lead. Bring in your low leverage guys. Give your low leverage guys a little bit of work. Save your arm strength for when you're about to face the hottest team in baseball this week.
Right.
Save your arm strength. But no, instead he goes to Alcala. Alcala gets blown up because he's probably not used to pitching 3 days in a row. Then so now you're down 1. You tie it up in the 9th, and you're bringing in Jackson Duran for like the 3rd and 4th straight game. It's like, take the loss at some point. And I hate saying it like that, but it's like, I'd rather not be throwing out Jackson Duran in a tie game when we've won 3 out of it already, and we're about to face a really good baseball team, and we don't have a day off. Like, save the arms.
Right.
Let your relievers try to make a name for themselves. The lower leverage guys like Okirk, Richards, Winder. Let your lower leverage guys make their attempts at it instead of wasting another day of like this, because I'm assuming with my assumption, there's a good chance Jackson Duran are probably not able to pitch for the first 2 games of the series. Probably I'll call it. So we're probably not going to have our 3 highest leverage pitchers for the first 2 games of the series.
You're opening up this game with the Zebby Matthews start, and there's a lot of volatility there. You don't know. It's very hard to predict what you're going to get from him, where you might need, if he has a rookie start, you might need some extension from guys, and that's kind of, if you want to pull the plug early, then you're going to, then you need guys that are fresh. And, I agree. There is a little bit too much of it.
I never want to say take the loss because that's obviously a bad thing to say.
But I understand what you're going to illustrate.
You don't need to use your high leverage guys. Like, if your lower leverage guys can win you the game, great. If they can't, you played the game well enough to like admit that it's an okay loss. So I don't know. I was upset about that. I don't think they should have thrown in Duran, especially in the 10th inning there. That was just a bad idea in general. Because and I don't know if you saw this, but his velocity, his first fastball was like 97.6 miles an hour. Which for Yohan Duran,
right,
that's like 4 miles less than his average.
Yeah. No, and I mean, anytime
on the only guy he faced, I Bleav, or no, he faced 2 guys. The first guy he struck out, but the guy he struck him out on 3 pitches, all 3 of which were 4-seam fastballs that were under 99 miles an hour. Which again, for Duran, is not good. No. So you can tell he was getting tired because you pitched him. I want to actually look this up because I forget exact days he pitched, but I'm pretty positive. He pitched. Let's look. He pitched 3 of the games against Texas, and he pitched the last game against the Royals. So he has now pitched in 4 of the last 5 games. Why do you bring him in?
Yeah, and these are not like, if you look at the, because I don't know. I think you're correct. I'm hold on. I gotta find These exact
But I
things.
will say, shout out to Griffin Jax because he has been an absolute godsend for us in that bullpen.
Yeah.
And again, he went yesterday and went like 1, 2, 3 in his outing and used probably like 9 pitches. But like, why are we don't need to use them here? It's like it was. I don't know. I was upset with the usage there. It would have been a nice win for sure. But
Yeah.
at the point when Alcala, you could tell Alcala's probably tired because he's probably pitched a lot now. Then you're sending out Jackson. I don't like it. I rather would have sent out like Okert in the 8th in the 9th instead of Duran, instead of Jackson, and sent Okert out another inning, or go not Thielbar, but go like Winder in the 10th and hope he gets the outs. I don't know. That's just me, but I personally am not happy with the bullpen use there. And so for me, I'm disappointed in that. But I also understand that you wanted to go for the win, especially when Cleveland lost.
Right.
You almost know that if you win, you're within a game. So I understand why they probably did it, but on the other hand, it's like, you're kind of screwing yourself for a series in which you're probably going to be in a lot of close games, or you're going to be getting blown out. That's the thing.
Right.
As like how hot the Padres are. Like you're probably going to be in a lot of close games where you're going to need your high leverage arms because you don't want to send low leverage arms against guys like Fernando Tatis and that entirety of that Padres bullpen. Well, now all of a sudden you're left with probably Richards, Sands, Okert, and Thielbar and Enriquez. Those are your 5 guys that you probably have. And that's if Cole Sands, who has also pitched a ton, if you look at Cole Sands, he pitched 16th and 17th, so he's had his day off, so he should be good to go. So Sands should be good to go. But I'm guessing here is Alcala's probably down for 2 days. Duran is definitely probably down for 2 days. Griffin Jackson down for at least a day. I'm guessing Griffin Jackson probably only need a day of rest.
Yeah, only a day. Yeah.
But like, you're going to be running with Richards, Sands, Okert, Thielbar, and Henriquez for the next 2 starts, probably. So you're going to need either Zebby Matthews or Bailey. Is it Zebby Matthews in the what's the pitching matchups for this next series actually?
Matthews is
it's Matthews over, right? So you're going to need Ober to go long. You're going to need Ober to go at least 6 probably at least, and you're probably going to need Zebby to go at least 6, which is a big ask for a rookie.
Yeah.
With your bullpen issues right now. Although I will say Ronnie Henriquez can be a longer relief guy for you, so that's nice, but still. That's where I'm at with that. That's my only rant. That's my rant on the bullpen usage. I didn't want to rant much on this game because, to be honest, I wasn't upset with the loss, but I was upset with the bullpen usage in the loss.
Yeah.
I'm not upset at the players themselves. I'm upset that they were used in that place anyway.
Right. If you look at the pitching matchups for the Twins in this series,
it's pretty good. I'd say the only one we're actually
So Ober goes against Perez. That's a clear advantage to Ober. And then Woods Richardson, who again, like, is still kind of finding himself as we've been talking about him over the past month.
I want to say that though. Quick thing. Shout out to Richardson for that.
That glass start
last outing against the Rangers. That was a really good outing. But it was a solid outing. He gave up a lot of hard hit balls. He got lucky. He got really lucky. But to be able to fight through all that and get through 5 innings was great.
He's going up against Matt Waldron, who a lot of his underlying numbers are not good. He's kind of the knuckleball pitcher in the MLB right now. But no, I mean he's currently sitting at a 1.19 WHIP, which is not fantastic. He gets hit crazy hard. He does not get swing and misses.
The only disadvantage we have is this first game with Zebby.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thought process is pitching wise. The only disadvantage we have is this first game with Zebby because Michael King has been incredible.
Yep.
And I'm a little worried that we're not going to get to him, I'd also assume that we've been doing so well offensively that I'm assuming we're in for a down game in terms of offense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming tonight would be a really perfect night for us to just go dormant with our offense.
Right.
But I will say, I want to give some shout outs here to some Twins players because we really haven't been able to do that from the Rangers series.
Right.
Carlos Santana was absolutely exceptional in that series. Willie Castro had a really big hit in that second game. That's the game we were going to talk more about that game. The game against Eovaldi where we were being shut out for most of the game. And then Willie Castro came in the 8th inning and had a really massive hit to score 3 runs to give us the win, basically. Shout out to that. Ryan Jeffers deserves a ton of props for what he did in that series. The pencil bat, the number 2 pencil bat came in handy there. With 2 home runs off that number 2 pencil bat. So shout out to that.
Yep.
Players Weekend was really cool though. I don't know if you were able to see a lot of the cool bat design.
Yeah, the crayon ones are my favorite, I think.
I like the pencil bats too. I'm also a big fan of pencil bats as well. But there were some good ones I thought. So I thought it was really cool how he did that. And then man, Anders, you're a popular person.
No, I think I'm getting. I've had like 5 calls today for potential spams, all in different parts of the state. I'm pretty sure it's all people telling me to vote. That'd be my guess, but they all show up as potential spam. Those have always filtered out for me.
I just missed a call. I just missed a call from our good friend Anthony Bivo.
Oh,
so that's unfortunate, but it's fine.
I would much rather be receiving from him.
But anyway, so that was a good outing. That comeback was huge. Woods Richardson outing was really good. Festa also, I thought Festa pitched really well in his start. Obviously, he gave up 2 runs, and he did not get the win, and he gave up a lot of hits, but he had 6 strikeouts in 5 innings. So really good outing for him there.
This is Festa you're talking about?
Yeah, Festa.
Festa. I was going to say, so right now, Festa currently is sitting at, I don't know where this ranks exactly, but he currently sits, and it's a small sample, but at 10.74 Ks per 9. I mean, really, anything over 9.
And that's after his first 2 outings in the majors before he got sent down for the first time, where he had like 2 strikeouts in 2 games.
Right. So he's really, So he's, maybe you can jock some of that up to just he hasn't gone 6 yet. I don't think he's done a full complete 6th. But
I don't think so either. But
he's so maybe some of it is part of that. But sorry, my hair is.
No, you're good. Hey, we're good. Hair day, bad hair days, love them.
Yeah, no, not a great day for that. But it's really impressive, and I mean, for that outing against the Cubs, it was the slider mostly that he was getting those strikes out. This time it was he kind of incorporated the changeup into those more this time in those swings and misses. So now he's kind of adding, he can be more nuanced and can have multiple threats in a two strike situation, and that's gonna be super. They're not gonna know it's coming, and that takes a lot of pressure off of him because he doesn't feel like he's being read as much, and so he's just gonna look more and more comfortable.
And then shout out Bailey over for another quality start.
Yeah.
Like, can the dude not have an outing without a quality start? I don't think so. I think we might. I don't think he'll ever have a non-quality start ever again. And honestly, so no. Honestly, shout out to over there also. That was a good series.
I want to talk about the offensive identity of this team
Ooh, I'm down.
because well nothing super crazy, but I mean like so right now, so I think the Twins are really sort of finding themselves as a medium ball team in terms of like, they're not crazy, they're not three true outcome like teams, like which is becoming more popular, and they're not, like they're not a small ball team. There are a lot of teams at the top that fit those criteria, but I think there really are. I think are forming out to be a doubles and triples team right now. They currently have 243 doubles, which ranks second in Major League Baseball, and they have 21 triples, which is 10th in Major League Baseball. The only there are only 5 other teams that are top 10 in both doubles and triples like the Twins. The Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Orioles, Royals, and Giants. That's a list that includes, what we would consider to be some of the most efficient offenses in baseball. And so I think, they're taking, they're shooting for doubles and triples. They're taking advantage of the big outfield in their ballpark. And, we saw that really play, into Globe Life, which is structured very similarly to Target Field. But, they're not doing a bunch of small ball stuff, where they're setting up double plays and things like that. So I think it's really coming together, and I think they've really found a nice balance of who they are and the kinds of hitters that they are. It's all coming together, I think, into this really unique identity that is not really shared by many other teams. So I think it's really cool to see what
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I agree. I think it's kind of nice for us to like see that in the small ball, and we do a little bit of small ball on us as well. But like and I also would say, we do hit a good amount of home runs for our team and stuff in terms of like we can change the outcome of the game with a swing of a bat. Like we've been able to do that. Like for example, Carlos Santana did it yesterday.
Yeah.
He tied that game up in the 10th inning. Ryan Jeffers has done it a couple of times. Willie Castro has done it a couple of times. A lot of guys that we would assume that like wouldn't. Matt Wallner, that's another guy. Matt Wallner has been incredible since he's been called back up. Shout out to Matt Wallner. His ability to just like hit a ball 475 feet is incredible. So, I do Bleav that we have that medium ball. I agree. I think the medium ball is where we live. We hit a lot. We get a lot of triples too. I think we had a triple in our last game.
It's very similar to the Reds. I think the Red Sox. I think the Twins are.
Which makes sense, honestly. I feel like we go about things very similarly.
I think the Red Sox, the Twins are basically the Red Sox
with a smaller budget,
but with more of an emphasis on home runs and less of an emphasis on stolen bases. Right. The Twins don't have that.
And we still do steal bases. Like I think like Carlos Santana has stolen bases in the past. Like we have guys that steal bases and Buxton.
The Twins rank 7th in home runs, which for the home ballpark, frankly, is impressive, and 26th in stolen bases.
Yeah,
the Red Sox here rank, they're 6th in home runs, and they're 6th in stolen bases. So they, but the they play. You factor that in, the ballpark that they play in, and if you look at like the adjusted numbers for like the Twins and stuff, like they are a little more power dependent, don't have as much like 90-foot speed, but in terms of that, like medium ball, keep guys out of double play situations, take advantage of the big outfield, like that's, I think, really something that they've settled into, and I think it's worked out perfectly, I think.
I agree. But yeah, so I will say I agree with that. And yeah, I agree with that. So with that being said, Anders.
Yes.
Looking at this series, what is your prediction for this series?
So if I look at the individual matchups, I unfortunately, especially now with as much as it pains me to say, and I'm going to go through this game by game. I do think that we lose tonight because I think, King's great, and he's a threat to have a quality start at any given moment. And I do think that a second game we'll see, but game one tonight, I think that bullpen deficiency, and the kind of more stretched thin, I think that you will see that. Now, obviously, the amount of like the distance for a lot of these guys will depend on the score. And obviously, if Zebby goes for 7 innings, then this conversation's irrelevant. But I do think that between King in the early bullpen absence, I do anticipate a loss tonight. But then I think Ober knocks out Perez. I think Woods Richardson, knocks out Waldron. We just talked about this like medium ball stuff. Like Waldron's velocity for really all of his pitches, all four, it's bad. Yeah, he for his knuckleball, and I'm trying to get this thing to load. Yeah, the knuckleball, the sweeper, the four seamer. His four seamer really only goes to like 94, and then sinker and cutter. His cutter tops out at 90. And so I think he'll be hit hard. And then for Festa and Palante, that I think that's a go either way game, but I'll trust that Festa continues to build on what he's done in terms of finding his two-strike identity. So I will say 3 out of 4. I think we lose tonight and then go clean the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Okay, so I would also agree. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to fully agree with you. I believe we'll win this. I think we'll lose tonight, and I think we lose the next two for the similar reasons in which I think Zebby has a solid outing. Like, I'm going to guess he allows like 3 runs in 5 innings, which isn't great, but isn't bad.
Right.
But I just assume the Twins are going to struggle offensively, and I'm assuming it's like a 3-1 game or a 3-2 game.
Right.
And plus, we don't have our bullpen, so I could also assume we could allow some runs, and like our lower leverage guys could allow some runs tonight. Even if we do have a lead, I think Zebby will not get a win tonight, even if we get lucky and get a win.
Right.
So then my next thought is we'll win the Ober game just because Ober versus Perez. We know Perez is a team. I think I think we got Ober. I trust Ober with like passion at this point.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think it's tough. The San Juan's interesting game could be tough for Woods Richardson. Especially this Padres offense is really good. But I don't like Waldron enough to say they lose.
I was going to say, I think Waldron, just based off like his profile and the kinds of pitches that he throws, is the perfect pitcher for the Twins to just totally overpower. So
I agree. I think we do one overpower game this game. I think that's it. So either, in my opinion, I think we either lose the first 2 games because we just can't score runs, and then we win that game because we overpower Waldron, or we lose the first game and then win the next 2. Same reasons, though. Yeah. So that's my prediction. And I want to do a little fun exercise here for you.
Oh, cool.
So very recently, the top 5, I would say, like publications posted their farm system rankings.
Yep.
And so I'm looking here at a composite ranking.
Oh.
with with all 5 of those publications based on all 5 publications. The 5 publications are MLB.com, Baseball America, ESPN, Fangraphs, and Bleacher Report are the 5 publications.
Yep.
I want you to name me who the top 10 farm systems are.
Okay.
In the composite.
All right. So you said top 5 or top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10. Okay. So immediately off the bat, I'm assuming 1 or 2 or 2 and 1 is Orioles Rays.
Rays is 1, Orioles is 2.
Orioles is 2. Okay. From there, I'm gonna guess that. Oh man. The next 2, I'm gonna guess, and I'm assuming, I'm making some assumptions here about who I think still qualifies as like prospects and stuff, but Detroit and Boston are the next 2.
They're not the next 2, but they are the next 4.
Where
Detroit's ranked 5, and Boston is ranked 7.
Okay. Oh man, I don't know. See, I don't know if James Wood still qualifies as a prospect. I'm gonna guess Washington anyway, though.
Washington is just outside at 11.
Oh crap. Okay, because I'm assuming a lot of that's carried by Cruz now.
I'm assuming so, probably.
I would say, are the Twins 3?
The Twins are 3, Anders.
Okay. And then from there, now it gets a little picky choosy. God, you're making me really think here. I said Boston already. God, is it like, just because of I know they've replenished now a bit. The White Sox.
The White Sox are 6.
Okay. So what do I have left?
You have 4, and then you have 8, 9, and 10. Although 9 and 10 are actually tied for 9th, so they're both tied composite-wise for the last.
I just realized that my computer is about to die, and so
fire.
Hold on. I'm gonna get this thing in before we're doing an emergency landing here. Boom. Perfect.
Nice. I can hear it. I heard it charge.
Save. One more time, who I have left, or which ones?
5, 8, and then 9 and 10 are actually tied for 9th, so it's 9 and 9. But yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna assume. Let's say. I guess I'm trying to think of like the newest drafted teams. Like, I guess the next 2 teams, I'll guess just based off of the recent draft, and also I think they still have a lot of good people down there from last year's draft too. I'm gonna guess Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Cincinnati is actually ranked 14th.
Okay.
And the Guardians are ranked 4th.
They're 4th.
So they are 4th. So now you only have 8, 9, and 9. One of which has a prospect that I know you are pretty high on a major market team.
A prospect that I was really high on in a major team.
Specifically, I believe he's still considered a prospect. I think. I assume I actually fully am. He's a catching prospect.
Are you talking about the Yankees? Is it the Yankees?
No, it's not the Yankees. A catching prospect on a major market team that I know you know.
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers are tied for 9th.
It's talking about Dalton Rushing, and they still have.
Yeah.
And then they also, I believe,
now we have a team. I'll give you on this other team. A team that has 4 players ranked in the top 50.
4 players ranked in the top 50. Geez, I figured if they had 4 players in the top 50, I would have guessed them like immediately. I said Arizona already, right?
You did. It is not Arizona. Oh, also just to be clear, the Diamondbacks are where are they? They're 21st, and the Yankees are 18th. Because you did guess the Yankees. The Yankees are 18th.
There's no way. Wait, is it oh God. It's not San Diego, is it?
No, the Padres are 28th.
They're 28th?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They gave up their entire farm system.
Right, because of all of the because of all the trade. That's right. Oh,
They
duh.
gave up their entire farm system in that.
Multiple players in the top. Oh God. I'm trying to think
And
of
they're one of like multiple teams of 6 players in the top 100 as well.
Okay. Well, okay, because the 6 players in the top 100 thing narrows it down a bit because I'm trying to think for the Phillies. I know that
It's not the Phillies.
I was
right
going to say Andrew Painter, I know is top 50.
Phillies are 16. Phillies are 16.
Actually, I don't think Justin Crawford's top.
I'll tell you right now, both of these teams I think are more major market.
Okay.
One of
the Mets.
Not the Mets. It is definitely not the Mets. I hate that guy. The Mets are 12th. The Mets are 12th.
Not even with Chet Williams. Wow.
You're thinking you've gone to like two of the 3 top biggest cities in the United States. This team is from the 3rd.
Oh, the Cubs.
Yes, the Cubs.
Oh, because Cade Horton and
they got 6. They have 6.
Okay.
The last team is also from a major market team. I think they're considered a major market. They could be. They are an AL West team.
AL West?
Yes.
Not the Angels. I'm not even sure if they have any top.
Not even the Angels.
Definitely not the Astros. I'm not even sure if they have a top 100 guy.
The Astros are literally ranked 30th. So I can promise. Yeah. And this team also has 6 top 100 prospects.
Okay. Is it? So it's not. I want to make sure I'm getting this right.
The Angels are ranked 29th, and the Astros are ranked 30th.
Oh, is it Seattle?
It is Seattle.
Okay, because I was going to say, because all the really high-ranked Rangers guys are all up in the majors now. And,
I mean, not really. They still have a lot of prospects there. They have Cole Emerson in high A, Cole Young in double A, Lazaro Montes in high A, Harry Ford in double A.
Oh, no, you're talking about the Mariners. I was talking about the Rangers. A lot of the top 20 guys, top 30 guys that the Rangers had, like Langford.
Yeah, they're all in the majors.
All up. So they're
except for Sebastian Walcott. I think Sebastian Walcott's the only top Rangers guy left.
The Emerson. No, that all makes sense. Yeah.
Also, and then so the Twins. Now, since this is we'll finish here. The Twins are one of I think 4 teams that have 6 players in the top 100. Walker Jenkins becomes the first player since Royce Lewis, and I think Royce Lewis did it in 2018 was when Royce Lewis was a top 5 prospect. One second, I'm trying to figure out which one it was. When Royce Lewis was it 2019? Am I wrong? It was just 2019. Yeah, 2019. So Walker Jenkins is the first player since 2019 to be ranked in the top 5 for Twins prospects in the national top 5. We have our usual top 3. Brooks Lee is still considered a prospect, and he's hurt, so I'm assuming that will last for a little longer. Emmanuel Rodriguez is 22, and I actually saw a thing earlier that has him being ranked very high in other rankings as well. Emmanuel Rodriguez is considered a very top prospect. And then lower on the list, you have Luke Keeschel, who was unfortunately out for the season with an injury, but Luke Keeschel is 67th. And then 2 pitchers that we've talked about a lot on the show that are now in the majors, David Festa and Zoe Matthews are ranked 86th and 88th on the top 100. So those are the Twins' top 100 prospects. we're very happy to bring them to you because it's really cool to see the Twins kind of pitching pipeline that we've been waiting so long for
it's
kind of
great.
there.
No, we've
And shout out to Derek Falvey and Thad Levine for building this system. But yeah, so that's that. Go Twins tonight. Go W Matthews. What?
Where are the Pirates ranked?
Oh, the Pirates. You want to know where the Pirates ranked? I can tell you where the Pirates ranked. Pirates are ranked 22nd.
That's.
Do you want me to go through the top? Do you want me to go through it pretty quick?
No, that's. I was gonna say Tamar Johnson, Connor Griffin. I know it's. I don't know if one of the factors of this is like how far away the guys are from being called up. I don't know,
but it looks to me like it's just their rankings of the farm system. It's 5 publications ranking of their farm systems and just a composite score of that. So yeah, no, I would say, yeah, but anyway, so that's our podcast. That's our show.
Yep.
Go Twins tonight. Obviously, go cheer my boy Zebby Matthews tonight. Yep. We're excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, no, late game today. Got to stay up and watch baseball.
I think we're gonna be. Well, we're in San Diego, so I'm guessing we have the late.
But we are in FS1, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, we are. We're in prime time.
Yeah. No, always great to see.
Anyway, well, we're excited to bring it to you guys. Shout out to Anders for being here. Shout out to us for being here, even though we're all dead tired.
Yeah.
Shout out that. But no, we're excited to bring you Twins content. Anders, you can close us off here.
Yeah. No, great episode. Thanks for putting up with our lack of sleep today. This has been great. This has been, excuse me. Wow. Even just my voice as I'm trying to do the send off. This has been the Bleav in Twins podcast on the Bleav Network. I, along with Zac Tipton, I have been Anders Pryor. You can listen to our podcast and all other Bleav content throughout the week on the Bleav.com website, or listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. Thank you for making the Bleav Network a part of your sports media consumption itinerary. If you are you can watch us here on YouTube. Obviously, if you're looking at us right now, please subscribe and turn post notifications on. Zac, great to see you. Go Zebby Matthews, go Twins. We'll see you guys later in the week.